On tonight's Cover One Buffalo podcast, Aaron and I break down Texans week, but first, our guys, Handsome Jack.
Broadcasting live to Bills Mafia worldwide with Greg Tompsett and Aaron Quinn.
Welcome to the NFL. Doesn't matter what's happened before today. Today's a brand new day. It's a brand new season.
Your number one podcast for objective Buffalo Bills coverage. No matter where you are, we got you covered.
Good evening and welcome to the Cover One Buffalo podcast. You're joining your host, Greg Tompsett, along with my partner in crime, Aaron Quinn. Aaron, how we doing?
I'm doing all right, Greg. I was telling you offline, a lot of sickness going through my house.
Yeah, it's gross time of year.
Puppy's driving me nuts. The weather stinks. But the Bills winning helps get through all that. If the Bills were continuing on this slump going into this game, way worse week. So at least I have the Bills game here. But a quick turnaround for us, man. These Thursday games are tough for us, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be happy once we get through it.
Yeah.
So dealing with tonight.
Well, of course you are.
Late night tomorrow night. I leave on vacation on Saturday, so I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, once we get through this, depending on the outcome, I'll be good. Like we just get over with. The team needs this little mini bye. We need to survive tomorrow night. Obviously, they need to get a W. It's a conference game. They've already stubbed their toe enough. They need to get this win. On the road, maybe the best defense in the NFL. Houston, I think. Houston, Seattle, whoever you want to argue, Philly's coming up there now. Best defense in the NFL. You have to go on the road and get this win. We'll talk about the score prediction later. I think there's a chance this could be an ugly game. But if you take care of this and then get yourself a nice 10-day break,
sure,
that is super, super necessary.
Yeah, I think that you talked about that top-ranked defense, and that's probably the thing looking at this matchup that kind of scares me the most when you're thinking about a short week and a tough defense. I was talking to Cody Alexander a little bit about this because I was looking at the defense this morning and talking to him and just saying, man, like, I love to watch this defense, and there's so many pieces of it that we'll gush about here in a little bit and that I love, but this is a team that even with the offense and the way it looks can just like drag you into that deep end and make you play their style of football. And I just kind of hate that where like the offense still for the Bills, even though they put up that 40, still stalls out at times. It still turns the ball over. This is kind of defense that short week, you don't have a lot to game plan. I don't know. I don't like that a lot.
Yeah, it's really funny because I've seen a couple really funny memes where they have like Bills offense versus Houston defense, and it's got like the battle scene in like Avengers Endgame, and then it's got Bills defense versus Houston offense, and it has like little kids in a pillow fight, and it was pretty good. Like that was pretty accurate. It is. Yeah. Like one of the best offenses in the league, regardless of how consistent we are. Obviously capable. We put up 44 points last week. Have Josh Allen, all the things go with it. One of the best defenses in the league. Their offense is atrocious. Our defense is very beatable. It's going to be interesting how that ends up working out. What travels well, like that's, this is a game Thursday nighters on a short week. I'd feel a lot better if this was at home than on the road.
Sure,
we've had a weird history in Houston. Like, I don't believe in those things. That doesn't actually affect this team. But we've dropped games in Houston that we probably should have won before. So there's just a lot of stuff that makes me feel uneasy about this game.
Yeah, for sure. Here, can I come in and maybe I need you to pump my own brakes here for a second? You're talking about our defense, and shocker coming from me here, but all the metrics don't look good for the defense. Like if you go look up DVOA, EPA, whatever it is. But lately, when I look on film, I think this defense is actually trending in a pretty good direction. I think in this game specifically, I think, yes, their offense is bad. And yes, our defense looks bad on paper. So when you just compare stats, it's like, oh, the 17th pass offense versus the 17th pass defense. But I think they're trending in different directions. I think the Bills are actually starting to trend in a decent way. I think Terrell Bernard looked pretty good, heading in the right direction. Maybe in a couple weeks you'll start to see a healthy Terrell Bernard, but he was at least trending in the right direction. I think the addition of Maxwell Hairston at the cornerback spot and Christian Benford getting healthy as well, I think helps you, and especially in a matchup like this where I think Benford on Nico Collins is a healthy Benford on Collins is a matchup I like.
And then last week was one of the first like Benford games that we've saw in a while.
Good.
Like, he looked like the last couple of years, Christian Benford.
Yeah, he's trending the right way. I think playing with Hairston will also feel comfortable for him. And then you can have Hairston on some young, fast guys that they have. So I like that, how that's shaping up. Obviously, Cole Bishop is playing well. Your boy Deion Walker is I said this week, he and Cole Bishop are probably some of the best players, and they are ascending into these roles. And so the statistics look bad, but some of that is just guys developing, guys getting back healthy. You're starting to get a good defense. So my hot take is that I do think it's a bad defense, but we're on the trend heading up into the right time. And I don't think they'll be a great defense, but if this team gets to like an average defense statistically heading into the playoffs, that makes them dangerous. Is that too crazy, or do I have to pump the brakes on this?
So I think the vision is there. I also think there's people listening to us right now who are laughing and saying that, like, sure, I'll believe it when I see it, because there's plenty of history to tell you that we have too many injuries, that we just don't have the right key players at the right spots. The safety platoon between Poyer and Hancock's not going to work.
I have concerns with Taryn. I think that needs to get resolved here in the next week or two, because Cam's trending in a way that you want to see a player playing, and Taryn is stagnant and not trending in a good way. And I don't know where the coach's breaking point on that is. That
area of the field is a sneaky concern, because we also haven't found consistency with the linebacker play. So when healthy, Bernard's great. It's pretty clear this version of Milano is inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
He's still smart and is going to have the flashes where he picks something out, but there's some rough stuff there. Sure. Shaq Thompson's back.
Dorian Williams looks good in that role that he's been playing in, by the way.
Dorian Williams as linebacker 3 is coming along really nicely. He's still a challenge in space and still a challenge
rushing
in
the
coverage.
passer is nice, though.
Yes,
like he's doing some of that good.
I really like they're not exactly using him like Michael Hoyt, but kind of like they're using him like a movable.
They're moving guys around, man. TJ Sanders was playing edge. Like, they were doing some different stuff this week. So,
well, remember in years past, they would use Milano as that like floating spy guy who would trigger when the quarterback picked aside and started to scramble and would just come downhill like crazy. He did it really well against Mahomes a couple times in the last couple years. Dorian has that skill. Like, hey, sit there, wait. When the quarterback picks aside, go. Like, he can do that. Like, that is in his skill set, and he has the athleticism to trigger on that. So, figuring out which linebackers play in which situation, which dime players play in which situation. When last week we did Taryn and Cam Lewis, figuring out that piece of the defense is one of the last pieces, because I think Cole is going to be fine. Like, I don't know if he keeps playing at this crazy level he has the last couple of weeks, but he's obviously going to be okay. Benford and Hairston obviously look encouraging. We're still doing a bit of the rotation thing for Trey White.
Trey looks fine too. If that continues for a little longer, I'm fine. Yeah,
a little longer. Like, there's a limit for me. I need to see that as we get closer to the playoffs, we're ready to give Hairston that job and get his trust going and ready to go. If now he's alternating drives, Padden has been really, really pushing the DE Orion train of the,
it doesn't
obviously
flow
Edgeman's.
Off the tongue well for it to be
not
a movement.
It's not as smooth as Tremaine Edgeman's. Like, that was a little smoother, but he's working it and he's forcing it, and I respect his persistence. I respect it. Keep workshopping it. You haven't found it yet, but keep workshopping it. That piece of who's going to play in those spots, as long as right now, Coach Adai is working with Hairston on the drives when he's not in, and that's accelerating his development. John Roberts, I think Colin just picked up a post from him about TJ Sanders. I don't know if he's going to play more of it, but he looked okay. And his size, like, if we can get some reps there from him, sure. Like I'm whatever. I'm indifferent. I think that we don't have a lot of those like small bendy edges anyways. We play a lot of stunts in games. So who's running a twist with Joey Bosa or Gregory Rousseau? I don't particularly care. Like that's fine. So I think that he can protect the edge. I think that he can keep contained. I think he can do the things he needs to do. So if he's one of those rotational pieces that plays how we need, and I think McDermott talked about that normally their 9 is 5 outside, 4 inside, but if they have 5 inside and 4 outside, and it's 4 ends and 5 D tackles, but some of them can move around different spots, that's fine. I will live.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to check on that and throw our good friends at William Mattar a free bone here. We'll bring them back up here later for here to help, but I wanted to surprise you.
It's a good call. It's a good call. And I think that they're one that I wouldn't be surprised if, as the season goes, the weighted DVOA starts to look okay. And again, I don't expect us to break the top 10, but like if we can get to in weighted DVOA, we're 12th or 13th. That's our sweet spot there, where if the offense is good enough and the defense is high variance, high havoc, but like 12th or 13th overall, you can win with that. You can make that work.
Yeah. And I do think to finish, kind of put a bow on that part and the problem of this defense. I know Dan Orlovsky put out one about motion and like how bad the Bills are against runs with motion. It's run defense in general. I think that is bringing everything down. I think offense, they are trending towards average right now, or again against the pass. It's the run defense that is where they're really getting dragged down, and it isn't good. I've talked to a few people about the why, and I do think I keep coming back to it. It really is kind of stuff that's all fixable here in season. Like it's tackling. It is, people don't want to hear about gap integrity, but it is gap integrity. It is like it's crazy making. I guarantee you the coaches are going nuts, because when I'm watching, trying to figure out what is the problem with the run defense right now, Greg, you see all these players, Greg Rousseau, Deion Walker, Terrell Bernard, making good run fit plays, and then one guy is just off his gap and it blows up the whole run play, and the running back's gone for 25-30 yards. And that's just got to be mind numbing for staff. So if they can fix some of those just minor tweak things, I think they can at least get that to average too.
Yeah, and I think there's pieces that Douglas talking about the long Tucker play. I also saw a couple of it in the Miami game, where you could see guys like firing and hitting their gap, assuming someone else is going to do their job, and all of a sudden, like, all it takes is one guy missing, and boom, you get a guy with speed, he could break it, and you just have to, like, hey, everybody's got to do their freaking job. Like it's
Taryn blew a few that just didn't seem Taryn-y, but
that hasn't been his way. Like he's been better than that. We need to find out if he can get that back. Like he's the kind of guy that maybe this mini buy really helps him. But if not, we need to figure out. Like I'm not ready to say that that's like a rotation with Cam Lewis, but like, hey, the tough decisions have to be made.
Find
sometimes.
A way, right? That's the motto. Find a way.
Find a way.
Cool.
All right. So let's skip right to it. We have a guy asking in the chat about it. Let's jump right to our here to help with William Mattar. And the question is, Bill's Electric here saying cover 1, saying that Keon inactive Thursday night. Earlier on the film room, that was shared that Keon Coleman's going to be inactive again tomorrow night. With all of the different moving pieces, obviously we saw afterwards Khalil Shakir was not at his full powers on Sunday. Still, obviously he's not going to all of a sudden be magically better 4 days later. Gabe Davis was elevated. Hardman got elevated. Now he's dealing with a calf injury, maybe a Brandon Codrington elevation. Maybe they give Elijah Moore a shot at one of those.
Yeah.
I think Curtis Samuel is dinged up.
He's out, right? They already ruled him.
Oh yeah. So Samuel out as well. What do you see in that wide receiver room that there was so much movement last week? Some people will be really disappointed to see that now it's another week for Keon Coleman. Some people will be celebrating. Yeah. How do you see that wide receiver room? Who's here to help with this wide receiver room this week? And is it the rest of the way?
Well, unfortunately, this week, I don't know if it would matter who is healthy this week. Sure. I honestly, watching the tape this week, I was thinking to myself, I don't even know if it matters if you have a real like true number one against Stingley. Like,
Dude, their
dude's
secondary
that
is
dude's
so
an
good.
eraser. So like honestly, this might actually be a good week to have a bunch of nobodies because Stingley's just gonna like erase.
Yeah. Hey,
Shavers,
Josh Palmer,
Shavers
we're
on the
really
corner.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're just going to go hang out. You or Shavers just hang out with Derek Stingley. He's going to be with you the whole time. Just have a good time.
Yeah, but it doesn't get great on the other side either. Lassiter's a really good corner too. And so like I don't know that the answer in this game is like a vertical passing game where you're attacking those corners anyway. I think you're going to want to work the middle of the field, and so still Kincaid being out is a
Actually,
killer.
it would have been a really nice game to get Kincaid back.
Yeah, that's
especially
a
with no
killer.
Jalen Petrie.
But I think Brady has shown, and this is probably the biggest benefit of there being a bit of a slump, I think, for this offense and them having to win some different games in different ways this year. They won a game last week using the running backs out of the passing game, and I think you can do some of that here in this game. But in terms of answering the question on what to do, I think it's going to be similar. I think you're going to see a lot of Shavers. I think you're going to see a lot of Palmer. Hopefully Palmer gets more involved in this game somehow in the intermediate area. But I don't know that I expect this to be like some big passing day from Josh. I think you might have to grind out some points in this one here. So I think they're going to just get through here with Keon. But to the overall point of this, how disappointing that you are dealing with some injuries at this position and you're a guy that you're heavily invested in isn't available to you because of his own immaturity or just inability to be available for his team.
Yeah, his lack of professionalism is the best way I can describe it right now, is that he was a 33rd overall pick and he is not invested enough to be ready to contribute. It's a shame. It's a real shame. So, obviously no Kincaid, so I think we'll have another Knox and Hawes game, probably Latu again.
Actually, yeah.
So Latu probably elevated because you need the three tight ends to be able to run all the different sets that you want.
I feel like they got to sign Gabe here. They could wait and use all the elevations, but
I think they're going to and just wait one more here because I think they want to give a little bit more time to determine what's up with Curtis Samuel and does it make sense to just IR him? Curtis Samuel and or Mecole Hardman both.
Yes.
Like, hey, do either of them go on the IR? Yeah.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes to both. Both go on the IR. We'll let you know if we need you again. I'm only half joking.
I mean, I hate to be whatever. I don't even believe in injury prone, but Curtis Samuel just can't get himself to be on the field for the Bills.
He can't stay on the field. So, if that turns into all that said, like Keon can't contribute, we'll get Kincaid back. Let's assume we get the three tight ends good to go. And then Samuel's not going to be there. Let's assume Hardman's not going to be there. And if he does, it's just as a returner. And we basically roll the rest of the way with Josh Palmer, Gabe Davis, Khalil Shakir,
Elijah Moore,
Terrell Shavers, and
Elijah Moore.
Like I kind of think that's going to be it. It's going to be those five and the three tight ends and the three running backs. And
are you doing Brandon Cooks? Are you just bringing in is it the Greg Tompsett fantasy?
So here Ryan is asking, Brandon Cooks was released. Odell Beckham Jr. was
no OBJ, but
extended from his released from his suspension. He served his suspension. I didn't even know he was suspended. He served his suspension. He had a performance enhancing drug suspension, so he was working out with performance enhancing drugs to try to get himself back. So I respect the work he was putting in. The challenge is, and it's Walter's comment here, that Brandon Cooks is the exact type of wide receiver that Allen has had success with in the past. Brandon Cooks was the exact type of receiver that Allen has had success with in the past. I don't think the 32-year-old player now that just got released by New Orleans, I don't think he's still that player. Yes, 5 years ago, I would have loved to have had Brandon Cooks. Like, that dude was crazy fast. He's had like a crazy amount of 1,000-yard seasons. Yeah. He's had a lot of production, but he's 32. And like, I just don't know if he still had, like, I know he's had 7,000-yard seasons. He's scored 60 touchdowns in the NFL. He's had a bunch of seasons at 15, 16 yards per catch, like some really cool stuff that would be pretty fun for Josh Allen. I don't think he's that guy anymore. So if
Is
one,
Stephen
they're not going to,
Gosnell,
as an
is
FYI,
Gosnell the guy?
I don't think Stephen Gosnell is the guy.
Okay.
The
So can we just
so
give him that spot? I don't know.
he got waived, and he has to go through waivers. Anyone who claims him, he's on a minimum salary this year, but
Right.
1.7 million of his 2026 salary is guaranteed. I don't think anyone's. That means basically it's
Nobody wants to pay him for the
a $3 million
yeah.
rental. I don't think that's going to be the case. No one's going to claim him.
No.
So then he becomes a free agent, and now he's a veteran minimum for the rest of the season. No one's going to pay him anything beyond there. If he comes in, so for me, if he replaces Gabe Davis on the practice squad to like see what he's got left and come in and contribute, because like out of the contenders, we probably need wide receiver help more than any of the rest of the contenders.
You get a ring for being on the practice squad.
He's only going to join a contender. We needed receiver help more than any of the rest of them. If that's the process here, is that, hey, Curtis Samuel and Mecole Hardman, you guys go on the IR. We have 5 that are ready to play. Gabe comes up, and I don't know, we probably need another linebacker or defensive lineman with one of the other roster spots for Hardman and Samuel. And then Gabe's practice squad spot gets replaced by Brandon Cooks. And if he has something left, he can basically be that third outside option besides Palmer and Gabe that can run some.
I was going to say,
he can run fast in a straight line still.
You pull Gabe up, right? At some point, you're going to sign him to this active roster. You bring him up and you talk about that lineup of receivers that you have, and it gets thin real quick, right? Like, we're not going to assume Curtis Samuel is going to be available to you. I'm assuming Mecole Hardman, we don't really see him again. I don't know how much of a wide receiver he was planned to be. I know they took that deep shot to him, but it just gets thin real quick. So I don't know. I'm not even a fan of him, but I am at this point of like, throw any emergency vet you can on the practice squad and stock up for the playoffs.
And if you want to tell me that he has played with some pretty terrible quarterbacks for the last while, you'd be right.
Truth.
He has. That is a factual statement. He's played with a pretty terrible quarterback play this year. He didn't have Dak in Dallas last year because of his injury. So, like, the last time he played with any semblance of a healthy quarterback, he still was, putting up 700 yards and 8 touchdowns with Dak in 2023. So,
but a couple years goes fast in your
and
late 20s, 30s, and
that was his age 30 season. We're now in his age 32 season. I just,
maybe
the name is intriguing, and if we add him to the practice squad, I'll be fine.
Yep.
But I'm not expecting a ton.
No, definitely not.
All right. So, anyone else here to help with our friends at William Mattar?
Josh Allen. I think that's something else that the film room talked about is the new identity of the offense and just weaponize Josh Allen. We don't need
Eric used his full name.
Josh Patrick.
No, I think he used a different middle name.
Yeah.
Eric said swear words.
Good. I hope we don't get demonetized. YouTube. Please don't demonetize the channel for that. Eric.
Sometimes you need to add some emphasis. Josh, beep.
I have a sticker on my fridge that says that, so that's good.
It's a correct name at times.
All right, we don't have a guest tonight so the normal breakdown, and honestly, this game's tomorrow, so nobody's gonna watch this back for like some detailed data breakdown from us on this.
Yeah, listen. Here's the breakdown. Houston's defense is awesome. Houston's offense is terrible. There you go.
Yeah.
Their defense is number 1 in points allowed, number 3 passing defense, number 3 rushing defense. Every advanced metric backs that up or is better. Like, it makes them even better than that. I think there's moments where Seattle's the best defense. I think there's moments where Philly has the best defense. Friend of the show, Danny Heifetz, has talked about that there's only so many defenses in the NFL that are good at every level. That, like, some have an awesome secondary, some have an awesome defensive line. There's only so many that are good up front and good in coverage. Houston's one of those. Will Anderson and
I was gonna say, not only good, I think they're elite at the positions that matter the most, edge and cornerback. They have probably the top tandem of both those things in the league, right?
Will Anderson is having a all-time pass rush season from like a overall productivity standpoint. Rightfully, Myles Garrett is getting a ton of attention. Will Anderson is a machine. Like that dude gets to the quarterback more and more and more than anyone. So Myles Garrett, who is on pace to break the all-time sack record, has a pass rush win percentage of 27. Like all the other guys, like Micah Parsons, 24, Aiden Hutchinson, 24, Joey Bosa is really, really good and way up there. Like 17, a lot of really good guys are not nearly at that rate. Chase Young, 16, Nate Herbert, 16. The only guy who's ahead of Myles Garrett is Will Anderson at 27.4, like 55 total pressures in 10 games.
Yeah.
He is a constant havoc. And like, I love our tackles. Like, we have one of the best tackle duos in the NFL, maybe the best tackle duo in the NFL. We are going to need help chipping. We are going to need help from the tight ends. And those two are going to have to be on their A game, because that combination of not just Will Anderson, but then all of a sudden you have that combination where, longtime favorite of mine from Minnesota, you have Danielle Hunter there closing it down on the other side. It is a just game-wrecking duo between the two of them, and they have wrecked many of these games and just taken over.
I got a quick trivia for you. After saying that, would you, well, I can probably give it away by the way I'm asking, but would you suspect who has the better adjusted sack percentage, the Buffalo Bills defense or the Houston Texans defense?
It's absurd that you're asking that, and I refuse to believe whatever stat you're about to tell me.
The Buffalo Bills defense is 4th in adjusted sack percentage this year, and the Texans defense is 11th. I do think the Texans defense is interesting right now because I do think it's like a very elite defense. I don't think they're getting as much out of their defensive line. The pressures are there. They're not converting on sacks. They're
a lot of Jerry Hughes seasons going on, because Will Anderson's season is great, and he does have 8 sacks, which is still really, really good.
He's having a good season, but it's not translating across the whole line, I think, this year.
Correct.
Like
it's just those two. Those two are finishing and no one else.
Settle's playing pretty good. But I think what leads to some issues for this defense, Jalen Petrie being out, I think it has a ripple effect through this defense, that if we can get beyond the pressures and maybe get that first read in the middle of the field. And again, I think this is actually a game probably that's beneficial, that I don't know that it matters who is on the outsides that much, whether it's Keon Coleman or Terrell Shavers. You have Petrie out, so that's probably going to kick Miles Bryant in if Petrie's out or something like that. They don't have a backup nickel, so I don't know. This is where it'd be good to have a guest, I guess. Anyways, it's going to kick somebody into that nickel role, because I know they're going to want to play some of that and play some coverages. And I think that's going to make them a little bit. I think those linebackers are suspect in coverage, really good against the run. I think you could attack that nickel, those linebackers, maybe with Shakir, maybe with running backs in that space. I don't know who it's going to be, but there's a spot to attack this defense. It's there. Again, like you said earlier, it'd be a great week to have Kincaid here for us to attack that space. But
yeah, I mean, so I think they basically played Bullock, Miles Bryant, and Jalen Mills last week.
Right.
So they just played the 3 of them, and I think more so kept Mills deep, but he was the guy who would come in when it was obvious passing downs, but they would put him back deep.
Yeah.
So I think they almost would then bring Bryant or Bullock up to
I think they're bringing Bryant up last week.
The overhang, and they would play him like the nickel, and then when it was out, he would play strong safety, basically. So they would keep the 2 outside guys there with the 2 safeties, and then on nickel, instead of bringing in a nickel player, they would bring in more of a center fielder, deep safety, and bring one of the safeties up. Yeah. And play like a 3 safety, 2 corner look. Yeah. So I guess I'll just assume they're going to do the same thing this week. Mm-hmm. But
I'm going to attack that. If Jalen Petrie's off the field and Miles Bryant's in his spot, I'm going at it.
Yes, 100%. And again, this is a shame that we don't have Dalton Kincaid. This would be a great Dalton Kincaid week. But depending on if maybe Shakir is a little bit more ready, maybe this could be a bigger Elijah Moore game.
Sure.
I'm ready to take a shot at that.
or a good
Knox
game.
is a good tight end. I'm ready for some of that. And like you said, we did get more our number 2 and number 3 receiver last week with the 2 running backs.
Yeah.
So get them out of the backfield, get them in space. I know obviously the linebackers for Houston are still very, very good, but Azeez Al-Shaair, is not,
He gets suspect in coverage every once in a while.
he gets aggressive and will jump things. And, EJ Speed is certainly the weak link of their overall group with the number of snaps that he's playing. So if you're going to go after somebody, it's going to be that combination of Bryant or EJ Speed and trying to take advantage of one of them.
Yeah, or getting those safeties. There's some youth in that safety room, getting them across the middle, something like that. But yeah, you don't want to attack these edges, dude. The way Stingley plays the ball, Josh doesn't want to put some of the balls that he's put out there in the last couple of weeks anywhere near these guys. They get
and he can't sit there in the pocket for a long time and have his normal time to throw, because if he sits there doing the time to throw, I promise one of Hunter or Anderson will get there.
Yeah, you can't mess around. These guys can chase him down the way he's running this year too.
Yes.
They've got speed, and they've got like Rankins is got some really nice interior pass rush, so they'll get at him.
The ball out quick.
Ball too long. Yeah,
get the ball out quick. Get it to the running backs. Get it to the tight ends. Get it to the slot. Sacrifice some of the outside guys just to keep Stingley away from wherever we're going with the ball, and just matriculate the ball down the field. A lot of first down play action. Get them where the edges can't pin their ears back and get into obvious passing downs. Obvious passing downs for those guys, that is a disaster for us.
Yeah.
If they know 3rd and 8 or longer and we have to pass, that is bad news for us because they have guys who can get home.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if we flip this over to that other side, it's kind of the same. We want to do that. Kind of the opposite to them is get them into some 3rd and long situations. We want to take away that first read from Davis Mills, because I think he can hit that first read and operate an offense, right? And if we can do that like they've done against the Dolphins in the past, I think you could be successful. I just don't know if he's attacking the linebackers and maybe Taryn in the middle of the field a little bit. I feel pretty confident with like Christian Benford on the outside. I think Collins will get some of his,
I would like
just
Benford
physically
plus extra attention.
Sure.
I would just I'm
Safety
never
help.
hey, double team, blah blah blah.
No, you got to bracket
with
him.
the Texans. Like bracket Nico Counts. There's somebody else. If you want to know what, if freaking Xavier Hutchinson or Jaden Higgins or Jalen Noel beats us, God bless him.
Yeah.
Bracket Nico.
Well, honestly, it's not
Nico Counts.
This isn't a ton different than last week. Just a way worse offensive line and a much worse quarterback. But like in terms of like skill players, I think you have one high-end wide receiver you got to take out of this game. Decent tight end that you got to like not worry.
Dalton and Dalton Schultz are the same human. You can't even convince me they just alternate jerseys at different times.
That who?
K. Dotton and Dalton Schultz are just the same person.
And Dawson Knox. I feel like Dawson Knox could be like
they're
that
the same human. They just swap jerseys around. They're the exact same person.
But like that's a guy you got to watch. But outside of that, like sure, if Higgins is gonna get a couple, okay. Like he leaks out a couple.
I'll take my chances on like, hey Max, I need you to be able to cover Jaden Higgins.
Yes, correct.
Max, take care of Jaden Higgins, please. Like I need you to be able to do that.
Yeah. What concerns me is a little bit of Kirk and Hutchins in the slot. Like if Taryn's playing and he's not playing well and chasing on a crosser or getting a tray against some of that speed on a crosser.
And Cam's good at the line of scrimmage, but Cam's not like some coverage demon. Like he's just developed into a playable player around the box.
Yeah. But I do think right now, one area where this defense is really good is we can get them into some 3rd and long situations. I know Mills doesn't take a ton of sacks, but you can get some pressure on this guy, especially with this offensive line. You get them into a passing down. You let Gru, Bosa, some of these guys just start to pin their ears back. I think you get into some advantageous spots. And I think that's ultimately, I don't know if we want to bring up our Southern tier and start to make any predictions here, but that to me ultimately is the goal. Is the Bills defense is gonna have to generate some turnovers here and create some short fields or get the special teams boost that we got here a week ago.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the way we need to approach it. And this is going to be a bend but don't break week on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. It's going to be frustrating. they're going to look crappy, but they're still going to move the ball because we're just not elite on defense.
Nico Collins is going to have like 12 catches for 120.
Yes. Like Davis Mills is smart. He knows where his bread is buttered. He knows like, hey, if I'm not sure what to do, throw it to Nico. Yeah. Nico's a freak and does those things. We need to be able to contain that. He's going to get a couple, but we need to then make the play in the red zone to turn it into field goals. Fairbairn's a great kicker. I think we could have a lot of field goals in this game because I think they're going to move the ball enough. We'll get a couple turnovers. They're not going to score all the time, but I think we can contain the number of touchdowns, keep them to a field goal. And if we get 7 and they get 3, eventually that'll translate. I think that we're not going to have the kind of offensive production that we're excited about. People are going to get frustrated and not realize that, hey, it's because it's Houston's defense is really good. Field position is going to matter. Mitch Wisnowski is going to matter.
Yeah.
Like you said, getting a turnover, getting a short field, converting when we get a short field, and converting for touchdowns when we get in the red zone will be critical. And that will be the difference. And I think it's something where, hey, we're not going to go up and down the field. There ain't going to be no 44-point game here. I think it's something where maybe both teams score 5 times. And that I think theirs could be like a touchdown and 4 field goals and like an ugly 19. And ours might just be a couple field goals and a couple touchdowns, but we might end up with like 27. And I think it's going to be a game like that where we're at like 23, 27, somewhere in that ballpark. And they're at like 17, 19, something like that. So I'll go with 27-19 as my score. Where I think that both teams score about 5 times. We just get in the end zone more than they do.
I am close to you. I have it as a 27-17 going for the Bills. I'm with you on the Bills. I don't know if their offense can score enough times. I think they get loose a couple times on the Bills. I think the Bills are going to have some answers. I do think this defense is trending in the right direction. I think, again, I said it at the post-game show, the statistics looked horrible for the Bills defense. There's nothing I can talk about giving up the run yards, but I saw some positives within that game. And plus you got to take in the turnovers and the short fields that they had. I think this is a good game to build up some confidence, right? Like go tee off on Davis Mills, go beat up on these guys, get some turnovers, get your offense in good spot on national television, or not national, but on a big primetime game here. And then offensively, I do think the Bills are still going to be able to generate some points on this. I think they will find some short fields in this game, be able to score. I think Josh Allen is gaining back some of that confidence of who he is.
A little more swagger.
And the team is giving him that kind of green light to go a little bit here. And I think we see some big time Josh Allen plays and him start to build that momentum of reminding everyone who the MVP of the NFL was just a year ago here. Because I do think they don't need this one, but the AFC is going to have some interesting stuff going into this week here. I think you get this one, you feel pretty good. You go on, Greg gets to go to Disney. You go wear your Bill shirt, feeling proud, and then you come back from a much needed mini buy here to really go on a run. So it's a good opportunity for everybody to build up their confidence. I think a 27-17 you cover here is a win that you go into a mini buy with.
I like it. So big thanks to our friends over at Southern Tier Brewing Company. Appreciate everything there. We keep an ear out for it. We may have a live show coming up at the Southern Tier Tap Room here in a couple of weeks. We're working on that. We have some fun announcements coming up there. We get to hang out with the fans, get people pumped up, maybe for a big divisional matchup. We'll see. We'll see when we get things finalized. All right, we were ready to bring up fantastic producer Colin Ritchie to let us know any great questions from the chat and to try to stump us with some fun trivia. Colin, how we doing?
Doing good. Looking forward to Thursday Night Football tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know about looking forward, but I am.
Well,
I am ready.
Because if it goes our way, then we have all of Sunday to just sit back, relax, enjoy some red zone football, monitor my fantasy teams a little closer. The playoffs are coming up. So if all goes well, then that's when I like Thursday Night Football.
Okay.
Agreed. Yeah. Bank those W's and then relax. I like it. All right, we're ready. We are in your hands. What do you have for us?
So we have Joey Gonzalez asking, how do you guys feel about the way Larry Ogunjobi has been playing these last few games?
I think he's fine.
I think that's the right term. Yeah. I think that's the right term. I was hoping for a little bit more impact than what we've seen, but I also have seen a couple flashes. I think there's been a few plays here or there. He's only played for 4 games. They've been kind of ramping him up. I think there's some moments here, but I'm still hoping for a little bit more than what we've seen.
We're talking
and we haven't quite got
20
that
snaps a game right now or so.
Yeah.
So he, like you said, he is in a ramp up phase. But I think it's been adequate as part of it. I mean, he is a rotational guy, right? I think there's a potential for some high end splash plays, but I don't know that he's a high end player.
Yeah, I think that it's I want to see a little bit more impact, a little bit more. But he's ramping up in that direction. The last 2 games have been 14 and 16 snaps. I'd like to see that keep inching up a little bit more, but he's been fine. Like, he's been about what you look for a DN 3-4 guy.
Yeah.
So I have some trivia for you guys. We'll get to that in a second because we have AJ Mayo asking you guys a trivia question. Last time the Bills faced General Mills, he's calling Davis Mills, they won 40-0. Do you boys know how many passing yards he had in that game?
Couldn't be well, actually yards have no correlation with points, but
it was comically low.
Yeah.
It was comically low.
I don't know.
The number that Mills popped in my head was 57.
You're on the right track. So he started like 20 something games, and this is his lowest amount of passing yards in a game that he's started in his career. It's a little more than 57.
6-7? No.
The kids are excited.
Actually, my kid's like, stop doing that. Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
You both had the second number correct. It was 87 yards.
87
he
yards.
threw.
That's been not good.
He was 11 for 21. He threw 4 interceptions in that game to Tremaine Edmonds, Micah Hyde, Tyler Matakevich, and Jaquan Johnson had interceptions in that game.
Jaquan Johnson was a Buffalo Bill. That is a factual statement.
Jaquan Johnson should have had a touchdown in the playoffs against the Texans.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
So Rand Neal should have had a sack.
Recovered the fumbled kick return that they didn't properly give us. I also saw somebody in there talking about the Isaiah McKenzie game if we end up needing to play Miles Bryant, which would make me excited if we had fully healthy Khalil Shakir, but we have whatever version of Khalil Shakir is here. I'm ready for him to get the mini bye and then get back to full Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
Also, congrats to Khalil for being a father for the first time. Exciting.
Yeah.
News.
That's fun.
All right. I'm ready to embarrass myself, Colin.
Okay. So,
all right.
Josh Allen won his 17th career AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Today, it was announced. There are 20 players in the history of the Conference Player of the Week awards, which go back to about the 80s. 1984, I believe, is when it started. 20 players in NFL history with more or the same amount as Josh Allen has in his career. It's a lot of Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
17? How many?
A couple niche special teamers. Yeah, so 17 or more Conference Players of the Week. Doesn't necessarily have to be AFC. Doesn't necessarily have to be offense. But I have the full list in front of me here. It's a lot of quarterbacks. And then some special teams guys, which I can help you get through once you knock off all the obvious ones.
Peyton Manning.
So Peyton
Manning is
Brady,
second with 37. Brady's first with 40.
Yeah, he played forever.
Yeah.
Breeze has to be up there.
Breeze is third.
I'm trying to think of like any
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger is yes, he has 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Rivers played a long time.
Phillip Rivers is not on this list.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, 27, the most of any active player.
Okay. How about like Elway played forever.
Mahomes? No.
John Elway has 21. Patrick Mahomes is not up there. He has I think I saw he had 12 when I was looking earlier. He's not on
so
this
Josh
list.
is that much better than Patrick.
Obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
Good to know.
All right. So how about
All right.
like a couple of the non-quarterbacks? I'm guessing like Emmett Smith and Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice has the most of any non-quarterback for Offensive Player of the Week with 20. Emmett Smith is tied with Josh Allen at 17.
So Emmett played forever, and he's only tied with Josh. That's crazy. So it's that quarterback heavy to. Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that you only have one more non-quarterback for the Offensive Players of the Week, and then there's no defensive players. It's just quarterbacks and special teamers after that.
Randy Moss.
Not Randy Moss, wrong position
Okay.
for the non-quarterback.
What running back played for a long time and would have stacked up that
LaDainian
kind of
Tomlinson?
thing?
LaDainian Tomlinson also has 20, tied with Jerry Rice.
Nice pull. Okay. Yeah, very nice. That's a good pull. Okay. What other high-end quarterbacks are we still missing, like Dan Marino?
Yeah, you've got, yes, Dan Marino.
Okay.
A couple more like
Elway.
in that era. Yup, John Elway.
Montana.
Yes, Joe Montana had 19.
Okay.
And you're missing two more like 90s Hall of Fame quarterbacks from that era.
Bernie Kosar.
No, but there is a different Bengals quarterback on here that was going to be one of the trickier ones to get. Umar Esiason has 20 Offensive Player of the Week awards.
That's wild.
That's crazy. Is Jim Kelly?
Jim Kelly has 18 Offensive Player of the Week awards.
Okay.
So Allen needs one more to tie him. And then you're missing one more. This guy won, I believe it was 3 straight MVPs. He played forever. Brett Favre.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is all of the quarterbacks now. All of the offensive players, I should say. You're missing just special teams players now. Most of them are well known. One or two I might have to help you get to, but
Vinatieri
has 27. That's the second most special teams player of the week awards.
Janikowski.
Janikowski is not on this list.
Like Morton Anderson?
Morton Anderson is third
one
for special teams players of the week. A surprising number one here for special teams player of the week. So I can help you guys get to him in a second. There's one more Hall of Fame special teamer, but they're not a kicker.
Devin Hester.
Tasker? Oh, Hester.
Devin Hester has 19
Great call.
Player of the weeks. So you've got three names
One
left.
more kicker. There's all kickers left.
All three of them are kickers. One of them is active. That's the first hint I'll give you. And I can give you another hint.
Is it Prater? No. I'm trying to think of like old kickers.
It's Matt Prater. He has 19 Player of the Week awards.
I was gonna say it has to be like an old. Okay,
that's awesome. I wouldn't even have joked to guess it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that one's the most fun for sure because Allen doesn't even have the most of the players on the Buffalo Bills.
He doesn't even have.
Every time I see him in one of the like victory things, I'm like, why is there an? Oh, that's Matt Prater. I'm like,
why is like old guy lost and confused in the hallway? Who let him back there in the hallway?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you've got the two most difficult names on this list now. They're both kickers. One played from 1988 to 2010, and one played from 1992 to 2012.
So like a Gary Anderson?
No. So this first guy I'm looking at here played all. How many years did he play? 21 years with the Detroit Lions.
Oh my God! I should know.
Okay. I can see him. Oh God! I had him in fantasy so many times.
What a run to play for one team.
Oh, what's his name?
I know.
Who hosts NFL Red Zone?
Oh, Jason Hansen.
Hansen.
John. Yeah, it's not Scott Hansen, but Jason Hansen. They were good. Good hint.
And now the last one. More. This guy's number 4 all time in Player of the Week awards with 28. He only made 2 Pro Bowls in his career. Was an All-Pro once. He played for a lot of teams here: Tampa, the Rams, the Chargers, the Saints, the Jags, the Chiefs, the Giants, and back to the Saints.
As soon as we hear this name, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah. That's a long career.
So the reason I know this guy is because of a play called the River City Relay. If you guys are familiar with that play, it was a game between the Jaguars and the Saints.
Oh my God, I would not be paying attention to that.
So I honestly forgot like which side was which, but so the Saints were down by a touchdown, and on the last play of the game did all these crazy laterals and actually scored the touchdown and then missed the extra point. And it was this kicker that missed the extra point. That's the only reason why I know who this guy is. Okay. Douglas is saying he remembers this play, but it's not like a super household name guy.
Yeah, I'm my
you got
kicker.
Me, man. Who is it?
Yeah.
We were looking for John Carney.
You want to know what's history?
Vaguely remember that name. You were going to say it, weren't you?
So early on, like not during the stretch. I remember him when he was with the Chargers, and there's a little bit of the Saints stretch, but I was going to say him when I was rattling off, like when I said Vinatieri and Morton Anderson, I almost said John Carney next. Like I'm trying to think, hey, who kicked forever? And I'm now mad at myself. I should have thrown his name out there. That
out of the way. We would have been done by now. Yeah.
I ruined it for us.
Come on.
It's so funny too that you lumped him with like two of the only kickers in the Hall of Fame. It's Anderson Vinatieri and John Carney.
And Matt Prater.
And Matt Prater.
And Matt Prater.
Obviously, Matt Prater. All right. That was fun. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That was a good
We
one.
appreciate you guys very, very much. Appreciate you hanging out with us here. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. We'll be ready for a wonderful post-game show, hopefully a victorious post-game show tomorrow night, ready to rock and roll. But on behalf of our fantastic sponsors, William Mattar Law Office, as you know, the slogan, hurt in a car, call William Mattar, 844-444-4444, and Southern Tier Brewing Company. We appreciate everybody here. On behalf of fantastic producer Colin Ritchie and my lovely co-host Aaron Quinn, I am Greg Tompsett. You've been listening to Cover One Buffalo, and we